I'm going to prove other humans, and I'm going to prove life on other planets. And it's going to make perfect sense when I say it. This is for Elon Musk, and this is for anyone hopefully securing my employment and hopefully inspires Christopher Nolan. I know they're already saying, Isaiah, keep the private, but I'm giving him a commercial. He made a movie called Inception, or directed a movie called Inception. My fault. I'm a human being, guys. And the basic visual is, if you were to like show everyone, like when they talk to you, if you just showed them in the background, like hologram, you could even probably invent something like this around their head. It just goes around their head, just like you're a dentist apparatus in Finding Nemo, and you were to, they were to start talking, and you were to like show them like imagery of like devices and inventions and pills and all this stuff. It would make people look stupid. But that's how I think, that's how I want to see the world. Or like basically when they talk with each other, like you see how wrong we are because you see the truth when you're talking. So you'll be like, we shouldn't be saying these things. So number one is time travel is very, very easy. And I'm surprised that when we talked about, people don't know, like if we weren't supposed to go here, it's because it's time to go somewhere else. This is the reality right now. I'm just giving people a heads up. I'm allowed to say this. Like if I was 5 or something, or my brother was in 2nd grade, I wouldn't be able to say this, because it was so early. But now I can't, because I'm 26 and I'm able to say it now, right? Which is awesome. 26, same last day. So I was basically silent my whole entire life. I'll start talking now. So the premise of what I'm speculating is the concept of it's just point A to point B. That's why I said it's so easy to do time. Like as are we slow? What's going on? I said no. It's just because you're so programmed to think a certain way. Like you exist in the future. Like when you first had your child, you exist when they're 9 years old. So the future is possible. So the future in general is possible. So it's just point A to point B. So if I'm going to Kepler, right, when I said in my podcast, Civilization Number 2, explain light years, the concept of speed, we're thinking time like a clock. We're thinking time's like a year. But time is speed, point A to point B. So it's relative, which means that if I'm on Earth and then at Kepler's far away, let's go further. Let's go to the furthest planet that you can establish that right now. This is the furthest planet that we are emotionally feel safe of going to. I'm not saying it's astral, but I'm saying this is a real thing. Okay, so if you're going at certain speeds, you're going to end up at that certain time relative to the speed at which you're traveling. So it's almost like saying we're traveling at light years. So it's relative to time. So it's like saying the reality is a beeline to this planet. By the time we get there in light years, because you're going so fast, but it's so far away, it's going to have something on there that's habitable or sustainable. So the reality is that, yeah, every planet that's far away could technically have life if you're going from point A and back in light years. So it is established going back and forth that it is possible to have sustained life going at a fast speed. Now, I think it's just what I said it was. I don't think it's complicated like that. It's not like, oh, we go there, we come back, we're in the future, they don't know who we are. I don't think it's like that. I think just like with it's like an ignorance is bliss reality. First and foremost, you're not going to Kepler and that's it. You're able to go to everything and that's it. And you would understand what I just said because you would see the reality where it's like you go there really fast and there's something there. And I would say basically if you went to the speed of light really, really fast, you'd probably see humans on there. And you'd say you really didn't miss anything, is what I'm saying. Like we can go the speed of light too, or we're able to quantify or whatever, or it really doesn't make a difference because time is relative. It's like exactly what I said. Like you can really go anywhere in the universe because you're going at speeds that are very quick. So it's not like I'm born in year 3000. I can't talk to people in year 4000. You're traveling at speeds that allow you to be able to navigate. I mean, you can go back to Earth from Kepler really fast, or then go right back and you're right there. But the reality is very similar, if that makes sense. Meaning they can do it too. Like it is established, like time point A to point B. I'm missing one concept of that, but that's why I just wanted to show people my brain for once, and I wanted you to see how wrong we are. I want you to see Isaiah went to Johns Hopkins University, and they talked about this for a long time. He's allowed to say this 26 years after. They talk about this in school and TVs. But I wanted you to see something. I want you to see even the smartest minds argue or challenge evidence. You can have whatever opinion you want. But I want you to see people challenge evidence. I'm only speculating evidence. Like, I rarely will put something out that's humbo gumbo. You can call me out on that. But what I'm saying is true. Like, you know, what I just said, like, you're challenging me. Like, that's all I want you to see. Like, when I'm outside, you're challenging his dad, or you're challenging that people have lived here for 30, 40 years. You challenge old people or the past, or they're really not the past, they're seniors. Like, you're arguing with the fact that this building here has a time capsule that apologizes for anything, or like you're arguing with the fact that my school has a time capsule, or you're arguing with the fact that people who knew me at Royal Palm or at Wittenberg right now studying the same thing, or people at, you're challenging these things, right? So I do want to let you know this city is doing something weird. When I was at my school, Wittenberg University, again, I could have done all this in front of my professors because I'm smart enough on paper to have these conversations. The problem with Naples, and I'm just going to be honest with you, there's a lot of women here who think they're smarter than men, or they think that they're smart, and I make them feel inferior saying these things because they just don't have the time to look them up, or they just don't have the time to be, like, it's almost like they only looked at one portion of their life, or one portion of their life, and they based their whole life based off of those specific people. So I always tell people, in terms of processing this decision, I never focused, that's why I'm blowing myself up. I never focused, it's almost like saying, this is my friends fall into this trap. They say crowd and God pleaser politically. No, do not. You have what your friends say about you, then you have what the world's gonna say about you. So I've designed my life to what the world's saying about you. And I'm letting you know right now, the world is gonna say the right information about you. And it's not saying you're a bad person. That's just that's one person's opinion. The world, meaning like what Guatemala, what Panama, what China, what Greenland, what Africa, like what the world says about you. World is different. That means you just throw yourself out there. What does the world say? What do women around the world say about you? Not America. What does the world say about you? Do you have a home outside? Do you have a home here? What does the world say about you? And I really design my life like that. Like people are like, why is he doing what? Because the world can have an opinion about you. My city does this weird thing where, they're doing this thing and whatever, I'm trying to speed this up. But the world, this is something like a book. That's why that's why I wrote a book. The world can have an opinion about you. That's why I do music too, but the world can. And I stopped thinking like Luke said, start thinking about your culture, like in history. And I'm like, whoa, these people, Luke Money, he's in Boca Raton, or he went out to Boca Raton to work. I don't know if he's going to come back, but he was telling me, you need to start paying attention. I know you're locked in your music stuff, but start paying attention to like Isaiah for me. Start paying attention to what people are saying about African culture. And I'm like, on Facebook, just like taking the time to like get out of my comfort zone. I'm like, these people are like, this is like not an insult, but I'm like, they're so wrong. And like, there should be like a cleanup button. Like, are we going to just accept, like, this is not even true? Like, it's like my dad when he told me, he's like, yeah, Isaiah, I was there in past events and there was always a repercussion on both ends. Like, it never stops. Repercussion on both ends. So it's not him or him being right or wrong. It's the fact that he's in trouble now, and they both are at fault. So that's kind of like my reality too, where it's like I never expected people to, you know what I mean? Like it's one of those things where I felt like I just wanted you guys. The point of me doing this, like this to the extreme, blowing myself up, I want you to just see who I am, and I want you to just pay attention to what people say. And this is a social experiment called perspective theory, or life is completely different when. It's going to show you things, you're going to see things you've never seen before. I said in my last video, everything that you watched in a movie is going to happen in our lifetime, including Transformers. Whatever part of that is true allowed that to be one of the highest grossing films. There's some truth in it. You're going to see something like that in our lifetime, meaning my lifetime when I'm here to 80 or however long. But it's going to happen. Everything. I could even say time travel is we're going to the future in our lifetime is established as possible. Peace out. And watch Inception, please. And support Christopher Nolan, and please start giving him better ideas. I know they already have. I'm talking to no one, but if you are an upcoming writer or script writer, don't be afraid to go down that lane. Peace out. It will inspire everyone, and they'll even congratulate you. Peace out. And thank you for listening.